What up, my peeps? I am the Ruckus, and these are my toys. Up next and on deck, you see it, you see what it is. We've got another dinosaur review. This is another dinosaur model from PNSO. They are a company out of China. They specialize in realistic animal models, both prehistoric and modern / current. This figure right here is Olorotitan. It's officially called Ivan the Olorotitan. PNSO is known, they're fond of giving their animals, their figurines, names. This one, Ivan. And as you see, it's number 53 in the line. They also have a museum line, so they have more than 53 figures, more than 53 prehistoric animal models. They also have several models from their museum line, and that line is impressive too. It's a 135 scale, so they try to match up the animals as closely to scale with one another as possible. It doesn't work all the time. Sometimes I think they forget, but they still list as 135 scale. Later when I get to some comparisons, you'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, so we've got Ivan the Olorotitan, and yeah, you're looking at the box, you see what it is. It's got a picture of Ivan on the front. You see it reads PNSO, Prehistoric Animal Models that accompany your growth. Number 53, Ivan the Olorotitan. They give them names, I think, because they do want to cater to children, even though these models are higher end, and they do cost, not like if you go into Target and go into the toy section and find dinos, and they won't be around, they won't be near the prices of these models. Anyhow, enough about the financial aspect of it. You see that it shows the same thing on the other side. On the side, you see what it's got there. New aesthetic education, PNSO, dream and vision for children. As I stated, they try to cater to children, even though, you know, the average child, the parent isn't going to break them off with these models. On top, you have Ivan the Olorotitan again. Every life deserves respect. That's what it says right there. And yeah, that's about the size of it. So next up, let's get Ivan out of the box and see what he looks like in person. Ivan the Olorotitan comes with this booklet that's included, and it's filled with all kinds of things, photos and stuff like that. You see, you got your table of contents there. I am Ivan the Olorotitan. You see some beautiful artwork, and like I said, they specialize in making these models look as realistic as possible. I mean, that just looks that looks incredible. You have literature, and like I said, they try to cater to children. This is like little bios, or what the subject in question. In this case, Ivan has a little read up. It's like he's talking to the children. I am Ivan the Olorotitan, a Hadrosaur dinosaur that spends its entire life pursuing elegance, etc., etc., etc. More artwork. This is showing how they are, how they move, the locomotion. This right here is just basically the Olorotitan is rearing up, because Hadrosaurs, which is the family of dinosaur that Olorotitan belongs to, they were quadrupedal. In other words, they walked on 4 legs, and but they were capable of rearing up. So that's what that's trying to demonstrate. You've got more artwork, and it just goes on and on. It's just cool. They show different angles, what have you. You can just continue on. This right here is an illustration. This isn't the actual model. As you can see, the model is actually posed rearing up, but it keeps going. There's all kinds of info and things of that nature in this booklet. Also included is this poster of an Olorotitan in its natural habitat. Yeah, they give you, PNSO gives you a lot of extras, and with the artwork and stuff, pretty nice. Ivan also comes with a stand. PNSO usually includes stands with their bipedal dinosaurs to help keep them stable. They tend to, they'll stand well pretty much on their own in the beginning, but over time gravity takes effect and they are front heavy, and it ends up making them fall down, especially when it's warm. I usually have problems, and I'm sure most of you collectors know what I'm talking about, when the summertime comes and it gets hot. The plastic from your figures, they get soft, and we have more accidents and fall downs in the summertime than the rest of the year. But we all know what's up with that. Anyway, with the stand, you just peg the actual stand into the base, and voila, you've got the stand. So here we have Ivan the Olorotitan. I set him up with a little backdrop there to make it seem a little more natural. Anyhow, a little background on Olorotitan. Olorotitan is a species of hadrosaurid or duck-billed dinosaur. Of course, because their snouts were in the shape of duck bills, and Olorotitan is part of a subgenus known as Lambiosaurs. Lambiosaurs were duck-billed dinosaurs that they had crests atop their heads, and usually kind of flashy, and a lot of times with some hadrosaurs, the crests were actually like part of their nasal structure. It's been theorized by some scientists that they could possibly either by inhaling or exhaling, could actually make noises like, for lack of a better term, trumpeting kind of noises. And this is, like I said, it's just a theory, but and we'll have no way of knowing. But anyhow, this is Olorotitan, and you see he's got a crest above his head. We'll inspect the crest in depth shortly. A little bit more about Olorotitan. Olorotitan was considered a large hadrosaur. It was 26 feet long, considered large, even though there were hadrosaurs that got up to, there were some that actually got up to 50 feet long, believe it or not, which is essentially twice the size of Olorotitan, but they consider it a large hadrosaur. I consider it a mid-size one at 26 feet, considering that there are species of hadrosaurs that are 30, 35, 40 feet, and of course, like I said, 50 feet. That 50-foot size belongs to the owner of the name for this genus of dinosaur. The Lambiosaurs themselves got to about 50 feet long. They were pretty big. That's a bucket list item of mine. I've never seen a Lambiosaur skeleton, so maybe one day. Anyhow, Olorotitan lived 75 to 66 million years ago, so it was one of the last dinosaurs. It was around for the Great Extinction, and it was located in far eastern Russia. So yep, even Russia had dinos. Anyhow, let's get Ivan up a little bit closer. Okay, we've got Ivan up close and personal. And as you can see, you see the crest that I was speaking of. And they all all the Lambiosaurs, they had unique crests, you know, basically isolated to their species. And as you can see here, PNSO has painted it to be kind of bright, so which makes sense. They've named this model Ivan, meaning it's male, and usually birds, which are dinosaurs, by the way, if you didn't know that, birds and reptiles as well. The males of the species are usually the more colorful. They use their colors to attract females, and depending on the nature of the colorful part of their bodies, frills, crests, whatever, sometimes they're also used to intimidate other males for territory, and also, you know, competing for females. But anyway, looking at this head sculpt, it looks very nice. You can see how brightly colored they, PNSO, I mean, has painted the crest. You can also see, I want to try to get close up so you can take a look at the eye and see how that's painted, how realistic the eye has been painted. And you see that the snout is like a brown, and then as it washes down to the lower part of the skull, it gets lighter. And you look under the neck, PNSO is excellent at attention to detail. You see it even has they even have the throat area sculpted nice. You can see wrinkles in the skin as it's turning its head to the left. And yeah, it's nice how PNSO they really attack that attention to detail. They have been criticized for their drab color schemes when it comes to their dinosaurs, usually like a brown or drab green or something like that, nothing colorful. They have done it a few times. I personally don't mind it. I think it's more realistic than something colorful, because something colorful, especially if it's a herbivore, is just attracting attention to itself. And well, you know, I said especially herbivore, but you know, that I think that actually goes double for carnivores. They'll be seen. They won't be able to catch anything. So anyhow, enough with that. Going down further, looking at the forearms, you see the how the paint has darkened up there. If you look at the fingers, if you will, they end in hooves. Like I said, these animals were quadrupedal, meaning they walked on all fours and could rear up. You see it's got a dew claw back there. That means there's a claw that sits above, never hitting the ground, as you can see that. Going down, you see it's got very smooth scalation, and it the color work transitions as it goes down towards the belly. You can still see more wrinkles. Looking at the hind limb, you still see that that same color, and it you can see there's a texture there that's supposed to be the scales, looking pretty smooth there. You could see as the leg, this left leg is pulling forward. You see the skin stretching right there, looking pretty cool. Go down, you see the three, oh, got out of frame there, my bad. You see the three-toed feet there. And then going down towards the tail, you see how it's got that striping as it tapers down. Taking a look at his back, the scales along his spine, you can see the detail that PNSO put into that as it tapers down the tail all the way to the tip. Looking at the other side, more of the same, very consistent with the striping, and the right leg that is being pushed off on. You can see the musculature right there, looking pretty good. Once again, the way how the browns they melt into this tannish, this beige tan, and you see here the skin being pulled. Once again, more attention to detail by PNSO. Looking at the underbelly real quick. This is attention to detail. They included a cloaca, which is the poop chute, basically. And once again, you see the stretching of the skin there with the neck. And speaking of the neck, you see how long the neck is. One thing I didn't mention is that Olorotitan, which the name Olorotitan stands for Titanic Swan, and it got that name because one of the things that distinguishes this species of hadrosaur is it had a longer neck than most. Not to get too into anatomy here, but hadrosaurs are known for having 15 vertebrae in the neck, and Olorotitan had 18, so that's where it gets its name from. But as you can see, they stayed pretty accurate with giving Ivan a long neck and having him rear up bipedal stance, as you can see. Utilizing the stand that came with Ivan, you just basically, it's really more for bracing. You try to find the sweet spot and place it under there. And what will end up happening, a lot of people don't display them with the stands. I actually do. I've got them. The main reason I display it with my stands is so I don't lose them. But they do help in most cases. There are some cases where the dinosaurs still manage to fall over, but hey, it is what it is. I'll take that dilemma. But yeah, so that is Ivan. That's how you utilize the stand. What I failed to mention earlier was I did mention that obviously Ivan is in a bipedal stance. He's reared up. What I failed to mention is that in order for PNSO to achieve this stance, they've got Ivan's tail touching the ground. Now, anyone who isn't in the know when it comes to dinosaur models and figurines, actual collectors of these models frown upon the tails hitting the ground. Well, it's referred to as the tripod stance. We would prefer that the animal stood on its own 2 feet, no pun intended. But obviously, in order to achieve certain poses, you got to do what you got to do. So it is what it is. I'm one of the ones that frown upon it, but I don't complain and whine about it because I understand a lot of times why it happens. They have managed to, when it comes to their theropods, meat-eating dinosaurs, to achieve this without the tails hitting the ground. But that's another story. Anyway, what we're going to do now is bring in some family members of Ivan, starting with this guy right here. This is the Lambiosaurus that I spoke of. This is the species that this subspecies is named for, and as you can see, if I try to get him lined up, as I stated earlier, Lambiosaurs were larger than Olorotitan. This one, if Olorotitan was on all fours, this Lambiosaur would still be a little bit longer. This is what I was talking about earlier with PNSO. Sometimes they just don't get the scale right, even though they'll have it shown on their boxes, on their packaging, that it's 1/35th scale. And still technically is 1/35th scale. This Lambiosaur just has to be posed as like a sub-adult, because this critter should be, if they were going to be accurate with its size, it would be about twice the size of the Olorotitan. because Lambiosaurs were they could grow up to 50 feet long. And to give you an idea about how they'll be all over the place with their scaling, I'm going to bring in another dinosaur as I take away the Lambiosaur. And I'm going to bring in a Cretaceous. This right here is, you may not want to stand, but I'll just, let's see if I lean him up against the rock there. Yes, as you can see, he's just dwarfing the Olorotitan as I got him posed there. I'm going to try to, hopefully I won't knock him over. If I do, forgive me. But I'm going to try to move Ivan in front of the Cretaceous. And you see how large the Cretaceous is. This is totally wrong. If anything, this should have been the size of the Lambiosaur. Cretaceous were around the same size as Olorotitan, actually a little bit bigger. They're around 30 feet long. But as you can see, they've got it all over the place. And then you see the coloration that I spoke of before. This is one of the few times PNSO used bright colors. The funny thing is they used this bright yellow and brown and still managed to make it kind of drab. But that's the Cretaceous. And we've got one more. And we're going to now pose him with a Parasaurolophus. And this dinosaur is definitely known. It's been seen in Jurassic Park. Let me move Ivan out the way so you can see what I'm talking about. In fact, let me turn him around, and then I can put Ivan in front of him. So there you go. That's a Parasaurolophus. As you can see, it also has that, it's got its own unique headdress right there. And they used to believe, back in the day, scientists used to believe that dinosaurs such as Parasaurolophus and Cretaceous, their crests were like air tanks. They breathe in and hold air there so that they can, stay underwater extended periods of time. And I believe they've long since abandoned that theory. But yeah, so that's an Olorotitan next to a Parasaurolophus, which, by the way, I think the Parasaurolophus is, the Parasaurolophus is more or less to scale. If we're going to say that the Olorotitan is 26 feet, then the Parasaurolophus looks to be about 30 feet long. And I think I did not mention that Olorotitans were about 5.5 tons too, whereas Parasaurolophus was like about 6, almost 7 tons. So to sum it all up, Ivan the Olorotitan by PNSO is for me, a wonderful addition to my PNSO collection. Like I said, they specialize in making very lifelike and realistic dinosaur models, animal models, period. I love the paint, especially on the crest, how bright it is, how lifelike the eyes appear. I love the rearing up stance, even though they had to achieve this by making the animal a tripod. It is what it is. You see how I've got him posed on this mountaintop with the tail hidden by the fauna there, the flora, I should say, and you can't tell that it's actually on the ground. And like I said, I love the paint. I love how the brown just melts into the lighter colors. It actually melts into like 2 different colors. It gets a lighter brown, and then it goes into like a pale tan for the underbelly and the undersides of the legs. The accuracy with the hooves for the forearms, the forelimbs, and the three clawed toes for the rear, the hooves on the limbs. The front limbs, excellent. The paint, the striping of the tail, just an excellent figure. Pretty much in scale. I am very happy to add this dinosaur to my collection. My problem is I just don't know where I'm going to put them. I've got all my spaces filled up with action figures, but it's a nice dilemma to have. And another dilemma is I've got to end this video sometime, so it may as well be now because it's probably already running long. I guess I'll see when I do the editing, huh? Anyway, any of you that have hung around this long with me, thank you for rocking with me. And please spread the word. I'm still trying to get to that 100. It's amazing how everybody talks about getting to 1,000, 5,000, 100,000, and I'm still trying to get to 100. So yeah, help a brother out. Hit the share button, or rather share. Hit the subscribe button, and the like button is what I should be saying. And smash the bell so you can be notified when I upload another video. Once again, thanks guys for rocking with me. Until the next time, my peeps, remember, the hunt continues. And I'm out. Peace.